Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Tyler, and today we'll be talking about scopes and local variables. Now, we've talked about variables before, and this is basically something extra for variables, and it is a must know. So let's just go ahead and tick script, remove the print. So let's first talk about the local variables part. So we know we can make a variable by just doing a is 10, boolean is true, position is vector 3, new 20, 30, 40. You know, this is how we make variables. Now, this is not the correct way of making a variable. Well, you could do it like this, but every scripter suggests you have to put local before it because that makes it run faster, it looks better. In general, it's just a must-have when you're making a variable. If you're setting a variable, you just do a is 2, you know, it's changing this variable to 2. So yeah, if you're making a variable, just make sure you put local before it, like so. And as you can see, that looks way better, and it's more efficient too for the script, because you might not understand, but like, if you're working a script, that's called an environment, and when you say like a variable without local, it's like looking the variable up in a like a global environment or whatever, but this is just like local is just putting it in a local environment. Don't worry if you don't understand that, just make sure you're always using local when creating a variable. Alright, and like I said, you can just change it by just, you know, position is you can even just change to 5 if you need to. So yeah, and another cool feature with the local is you can just do like local nothing. It can be anything, not just nothing, just like whatever, and you don't have to put like equals. You can just leave it like this, and that's basically the same as saying, you know, is nil. That's like the same, removing this, and that's very cool, because if you have like a, I don't know, a loop like for I is 1 to 10 comma 1 2, and then you can say like this variable is I, and then you can say like print a variable, and you can run this, see what happens. As you can see, it printed 10. Don't mind these errors, I don't know why they're happening. So yeah, if we don't put this here, that works too, but like I said, this is, you know, more efficient for the script. Okay, so that's not all about local variables. If you're saying like, let me just remove everything, let's do like local cache is 50, and you can say like if cache is greater than 25, then do like print true, and you can say like local has more than 25 is true. So we just made a variable in this if statement here, and the code in here is what we call a block. So you can like recognize a block by this arrow. So what's in here is a block, and since we made like a local variable here, that means we cannot use this variable like outside this block. So we could like say print has more than 25. That won't print true. That it doesn't recognize this variable. But however, if you put this in here, it does recognize it and it will print true. And that's basically what local does. So this is what we call a local scope. And if we make like a while true do loop here, and we can still use this variable here, because yeah, we can. It's like print has more than 25. Wait, no, that just works. And that's kind of what local variables and scopes are. So this is a block and this is a block. We can do like local looping true, but we cannot use it here, as you can see. So I hope that makes sense. So when you say a local variable is true, you can only use this variable within the block it is in, or like sub blocks. Okay, so last thing before we stop this video, if we have like a variable again, local variable is true, and we have like a for I 1 to 10 1 2, and we have another variable called variable again, so they're the same, and we set this to false. So we can say like print I and print variable. And we can say here again, print variable. So think here for a second. What is this gonna print? And what is this gonna print? Obviously this is gonna print the numbers here. What is this gonna print? And what's this gonna print? So if you think this will print false, you're correct. And if you think this is gonna print true, you're correct. And the reason why this is not gonna print true is because we made a variable in here, and that's called variable, same as this one, and we set it to false. And the reason why this won't print false is because we made a variable here, a local variable, and we set it to true. And since like this code right here can't access this variable right here, it doesn't know it's false, it just knows it's true because it cannot access this variable. Makes sense, right? So yeah, this will print false, this will print true. To prove it, here you go. As you can see, printed 1 to 10, false, and true. All right. And if we just remove the local, we're just changing the variable called variable. We're setting it to false. So what do you think? Is this gonna print false or true? Is this gonna print false or true? Now, if you think this is gonna print false, you're correct, of course. If you think this is gonna print true, you're not correct. Because we set the variable to false, right? Okay, now let's run it to prove it. As you can see, it all printed false. All right, so yeah, these are local variables, and here we're just scoping. It's a weird name, but kind of makes sense, scoping. If you don't understand scoping yet, there's a link in the description to the developer hub, and it's an article which shows you how scoping works. It's very easy to understand, it's very cool. And as for local variables, there's a link in the description too. It's just what I explained here, kind of the same way. So yeah, if you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. In the next video, we're going to talk about functions. And that's basically just putting code in a variable and then running it whenever you need to and however you need to. It's a very interesting topic, and yeah, I'll see you in the next one. See you.